Striking and fielding games involve teams scoring points when a player successfully strikes a ball or similar object, and then runs to a designated playing area. Whilst this is happening, the opposing team tries to retrieve the ball and prevent their opponents from scoring by returning the ball to base.
The overarching question is, however, what skills or strategies are necessary in striking and fielding games? These 6 skills that are going to be mentioned are the most important when it comes to striking and fielding games. These include 3 offensive and 3 defensive skill aspects that can give your team an advantage. Games like softball, baseball, and cricket are examples of striking and fielding games and include all these 6 skills.
Number 1, placing the ball. Striking and fielding includes different skills used to get an advantage on the opposition when playing, and one of them is placing your hits with accuracy. If the striking and fielding game is baseball, one of the key skills is knowing how to place your hits, which would be to hit the ball into space, make it difficult for the fielders. Hitting the ball away from the fielders also gives you time to run through bases and hopefully score runs for your team. From watching this video of Aaron Judge hitting the ball, he picks out space and hits it towards that direction, which leads to a home run. Number 2, hitting the ball. To be successful at hitting the ball, you need to have good timing and involve a clean and strong contact with the ball and the bat. The contact takes place on the sweet spot of the bat and not at the end of the bat, but more closer to the middle section. The follow-through of the swing involves the bat passing through the ball, causing it to travel precisely in the intended direction and at the desired speed and distance, as desired by the batter. Number 3, running. To have successful runs, players need to know when and when not to run. You should only run to the next base if you think you have enough time and that you are communicating with the runners as well. Players need to run as fast as they can and even slide in certain situations to successfully make ground.
Number 1, positioning to cover space. The initial positioning of players in a wide stance allows them to swiftly move towards the ball to field a ground ball or catch a high ball, eliminating the need to turn and chase the ball towards the outfield. You need to be spreading out to ensure all spaces can be covered and are prepared for any hits going into different areas of the field. It is also important that the fielders are all talking to each other, making sure they are all on the same page for fielding roles. Number 2, anticipating play. The area of the game involves anticipating the probable outcome once the ball is struck and having the knowledge of what actions to take accordingly. You would need to know who to throw it so that the runners can be called out, which involves a lot of communication. When fielding, you also need to know if you have to throw it to home base, and that's done when all runners have filled up the bases. But as mentioned earlier, the most important aspect of fielding is positioning and communication. Last but not least, outside infielding. Players begin in a broader fielding stance and progressively move closer to the point of contact, allowing them to field or catch the ball while moving forward rather than having to backtrack. They spread strategically across the field to ensure comprehensive coverage of the playing area. They assume designated positions in both the infield and outfield, being aware of their specific areas of responsibility and moving to field the ball when necessary. Players work together as a cohesive unit, providing support both near and far, effectively communicating with one another to nail down their fielding roles.